Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna talk about it. Okay, God, so many people have been asking, like, oh my God, why did you give away your first PS5? You had one, you had the bag secured, you're tripping, dog, you're bugging, this and that, this and that. Okay, so it all started back in September, right? Back in September, I went through probably like one of the worst experiences of my entire life. Okay, basically, long story short, I my bank account information ended up getting compromised, and apparently there were some fake checks floating around, and money was being stolen from my job and from me, all simultaneously. So with that being said, this was back during the first wave of pre-orders, right? First wave of pre-orders that went live at GameStop. Okay, everybody knows at GameStop you had to go to you had to camp outside first of all, and there was a sign on the door that said, how many PS5s each GameStop would have. This particular one that I was at had 11. Okay, or so we thought. We'll get into that later though. First of all, I drove by at about 8 p.m. that night. Okay, it was the day before they were handing out the tickets for the pre-orders. So it wasn't going to come out till like the 12th of November. So this was just like an advance thing, right? So I get there around like 8. I drive there just to like make sure, right? Just to see like, okay, so let me see if anybody's out there, just so I know whether to start camping now or can I just wait. So I get there and there's a couple in line first. So I'm thinking, okay, I need to jump in line right now if there's already a couple there, right? So I get out the car, whoop de whoop. I call my bro. I'm like, hey, I forgot the lawn chair, bring it, whatever. So he brings the lawn chair, and I got my blanket, I got a pillow, I got everything ready to go. So by 11 or 12, there's about 11 of us, right? And everybody else who came, we just told them to go home. They only had 11, so we didn't want to waste anybody's time. We're like, hey, try a different spot. And these group of people were just the coolest. I mean, gamers, we all get along in some way, shape, or form. We all have something in common, pretty much. Our thing was just pretty much playing games. It's easy for us to connect on that certain thing. So it was a really just chill night. We're all just talking, chatting, laughing, this and that. So it really made the time go by pretty fast. Eventually, we all dozed off. Morning comes, and keep in mind there's a Wells Fargo bank across the street. It's important for later on. So the manager comes by, right? They open at 11. So about 10:45, the manager comes by, takes the paper off of the window. By now there's like 30-40 people in line. I don't know why people thought they were just gonna come right before opening and secure them a PS5, but that's not how it works. Not with a launch this big, at least. She takes the paper off the window, and we're like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then she goes inside. So she comes back out a little while later and she's like,
yo, so we actually only have 8 PS5 pre-orders available, not 11.
and we're like, what? So the three dudes, excuse me, the three dudes, sorry about that. So where was I? Oh yeah, she comes out and she's like, so yeah, we actually only have 8 now instead of 11, and the three dudes who were in the back who also waited a good 16 hours, obviously we're not going to get one that day. We're not going to secure a pre-order at least. So they were really pissed, obviously. One dude in particular, who's obviously more outspoken than the rest of us, he was basically asking, hey, can we see your can we talk to your corporate? We talk to somebody else. And she was like,
unfortunately, there's nothing we can do.
Because they ended up giving them to their employees, I guess. And there were only like 3 employees there, which means she indeed took one for herself as well, which was a little bit insane. If anything, they should have done that the day before and then changed their stock numbers ahead of time. Actually, what they should have done was assumed that they were all going to take one and then change their number from 11 to 8. Right away, so that way they didn't waste anybody's time. And in the morning, if there were still some left, if they had extras, if their employees didn't want any, then by all means they could, those 3 extra people in the back could have gotten one. But unfortunately, that's not what happened that day. Yeah, they were just pissed, bro. Like, I remember, like, I felt bad, like, honestly, because they had waited as long as the rest of us, and it's pretty much lying. It's pretty much like false advertisement. And so I'm looking at this bank across the street, And I'm thinking like, at the time, I'm thinking like, did I really need this? Like, do I really like, what if I'm not even gonna be able to play this? What if I end up going to prison for something I didn't even do? Like, what if, you know, like, because that's what in my head, what I was thinking, that's what was at stake here with this whole thing. I mean, this ended up all getting solved within like a week, but I was thinking like, oh my God, I owe this money, I'm being framed and this and that. Like, it's because the way that these people who did this to me, like the way that it looked, the way that they made it look like I was the one like stealing like from my like, first of all, if anybody even had a brain, they would know that like, obviously, why would I steal like $3,500 from my job and then continue to show up to work, and then on top of that think that no one's gonna find out, or like no one's gonna like that it's just gonna slide with like, you like, like it was just absurd. Okay, like it was almost clean. Like these people who did this to me, it was almost clean. They thought they had it, but if you even take a second to just to look at the facts of the whole situation, like we went to the bank and they were like, we went to Chase and they were like, yeah dude, like this has been happening a lot since like COVID has started. Like we've seen this time and time again. And yo, like, and it just so happened to happen to me. Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. But at this particular time, like that's all I was thinking about the whole time I was in line, the whole time I was talking. This was just all in the back of my head. I'm thinking, oh my God, I need a loan and this and that. And how am I gonna, like, it was just, you know, that's all I was thinking while I was in line the whole time. And so I thought, you know what, if I end up not even being able to play this thing, like if I end up going down for something I didn't do, like I'm just, you know, I'm screwed. So I as we're in line at the GameStop, like she brought us all into the GameStop, you know, and the three dudes behind were mad and stuff, and I'm standing there in line. I'm about to get to the counter, you know, because you only had to put $50 down that day, and I'm just thinking like, you know what, dude, like I don't even want this right now. Like I know like content wise this was gonna hurt me, like in the short run, but like in the long run I was just thinking like, you know, it's not even worth it right now. Like I have too much at stake right now, and you know, why don't I just bless someone else with this today? Like something in my head was just telling me, just that voice that was just like, you know what you need to do. That's all I heard in my head. And so I walked out the GameStop, I handed the dude my ticket, and I was like, enjoy, dude. I was like, congratulations. And I didn't say congratulations, but I was just like, you know what, like here, you can have it. And he was like, bro, are you serious right now? I was like, yeah, bro. Like, he was like, dude, thank you so much, like yada yada, like dude, I'll give you my number, like I'll hit you up if I see any other PS5s go up, like, you know, I'll let you know. And I was like, yeah dude, it's all good. And that was it. I walked out, I went to Wells Fargo, and you know, the rest was taken care of from there. And every single other pre-order chance that I've gotten the chance to actually like be online for, I failed time and time again. Just the other day, I was at a mall, and the stupidest thing happened, because I was at a mall, right? This particular mall, and there's a Pop Finder is a site where you can see stocks of PlayStations. I ended up going to this first mall that I went to. This GameStop actually was on the outside of it wasn't actually in the mall, it was like outside, you know. I saw two people in line there already, and then anyway, sorry about that. Where was I? Oh yeah, so this particular GameStop I went to, there was already two people in line, right? I made two mistakes. Number one, I trusted Pop Finder. They said they only had two. It said every GameStop in the area only had two. Okay, so I assumed that I wasn't gonna get one because there were already two people in line. Little did I know later on that some guy texted me, and he was like, one of my boys texted me, and he was like, hey, you know what, that mall, they actually had four. So if I actually just would have waited in line, I would have been like third or fourth in line, and I would have got one. Okay. And the other mistake I made was sitting there for too long talking, and I should have drove to a different mall, GameStop, where they actually had two. And I ended up being third there. Okay, but those people that got there, they got there at 3. or like 4 o'clock. I would have been there already if I would have just went there first. But since I recently moved, I drove around a bunch of other GameStops first before I went to that one, the one that I used to live by. So 2 mistakes that night. So again, it's just been every time I've just been missing it. And I'm not going to say I'm not going to sit here and say like I regret it. I'm not going to sit here and say that I regret giving someone else, that blessing someone else with it. It's just, it just sucks, This Series X has been pissing me off lately. So I am going to I've been meaning to like make a video of the problems with this thing that I've been having, but I just never got around to it. But anyway, that's pretty much my but anyway, that's pretty much my story of me giving away the first PS5 that I had gotten. It sucks, I know, but I just felt like that's what I needed to do at the time. And it haunts me every time. It haunts me every time the PS5s go up and I miss it. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's okay sometimes you need to just bless somebody else. Sometimes that you think you may want something at the time, but it's just the way it is, man. But eventually I will get one. But it just, it just makes it to where when I do finally get it, it's going to be that much more gratifying. It's the most sought after electronic in the world right now. And when I do get it, it will be a big deal. Like I'm gonna oh man, dude, I might even drop a skit like on it. It's gonna be a big deal when I finally get this thing, because if I would have got it like the first wave, it kind of wouldn't feel as special. I like a little chase, yeah. Anyway, little chase never hurt anybody. I like to work for the things I got. So that's in all aspects of life. Women, electronics, things I buy for myself. I spend a lot of money on myself, but maybe an unnecessary amount sometimes, mostly on like electronics and just stuff like that. But hey, when you're single, you tend to have more money for yourself, it's because I'm not spending it on someone else. So it's just the way it is. But anyway, sorry. But anyway, that's it from me. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, the deal. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hopefully, who knows, maybe this is inspired someone else to, I'm not saying, just go and give away your PS5 or nothing, but I am saying that don't be afraid to just, listen to that voice in your head sometimes. Don't be afraid to take that leap sometimes and do something nice for someone else. It's all right. But anyway, that's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed. It's my Series X, my video pooping on the Series X will be dropping soon. Stay tuned for that. My next giveaway, my next game/accessory giveaway will be December 20th, my birthday. So please stay tuned for that. I will be dropping an official video for that when it happens. Other than that, that's it for me, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.